Daniel, watching Free Speech TV in Canton, Ohio. Hey, Daniel, what's up?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm well. What's in your mind?
What I really wanted to ask you today is something that I rumble around with in my mind, is the Masonic Temple and these Masons. Okay, I come from a very, very long line of Masons. Okay, my brothers, my dad, all his father, but I stay away. And I know how powerful these guys are, and yet nobody is saying one word about them. I mean, can you say, are they, in Washington? Are they, causing any of this stuff?
Oh, there's an amazing. There's a for-profit museum here in Washington D.C. called the Spy Museum, which I've never chosen to pay to go into, but they have a bookstore next to it, or a book and novelty store next to it, which is one of the coolest things to see if you're in Washington D.C. and it's free because they're selling stuff, and they've got a book in there called The Occult History of Washington D.C. and it's mostly the Masonic history of Washington D.C. How, L'Enfant was a Mason, the D.C. is laid out with all this Masonic symbols, the number of steps in the buildings, the number of bricks in the Washington Memorial. All this stuff is Masonic. George Washington's inaugural parade was a Masonic parade. Ben Franklin was a Mason. Many of the founders were Masons. But the Masons provided at that point in time sort of a benign, somewhat spiritual patina without getting into the whole fundamentalist Christianity thing that was happening in Massachusetts that was threatening to really corrupt early American democracy. So the Masons were, I don't think that they were viewed so much as power brokers because they were celebrated back then. But now, my sense of the Masons now, and I'm not an insider like you are, Daniel, but is that the Masons have basically just become a social organization. Am I missing something?
You're really, really on board there, except that they are racist. They only allow them in their organization, and if you're a person of other color, you can have your own lodge, but
so Masonic lodges are racially segregated?
Yes. Yes, they are. It is unbelievable.
Wow.
And the other side is happy that they are, have that handshake. It's like, if you want to get in this door, you have to know this handshake.
Right.
And it scares me that I know that they are down there in Washington pulling strings.
Yeah.
But, how do we know?
You want to pursue another interesting line of, pull another interesting thread on this thing, Daniel. Check out how much of Mormonism Joseph Smith stole from the Masons. Joseph Smith used to be a Mason. And, when the angel Moroni gave him the golden tablets and all the instructions, including the temple underwear and everything else, that was all Masonic stuff. And that's a fascinating piece of it, too. Daniel, thanks for the call. I'm sorry, this is not an area in which I have much expertise. We'll be back. It's 20 minutes past the hour.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.